Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at SoberCoffeePod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Two guys on a path.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Are you ready for this one?
Yeah, go.
So we do a lot of preparation. We do hours of preparation.
Sure.
So we have a guest that was supposed to jump in, and for some reason the wires crossed, and they are not with us this morning.
not like in a terminal sense. They're not with us. He's not with us anymore.
At this point,
we don't know.
We don't know. Right. So we landed up calling one of our prior guests to see if they could immediately, in real time, jump on, and they were going to physical therapy.
All right.
So now we're going to make this up in real time.
I love that, though. First of all, just behind the scenes. So you call up, you're like, hey, what are you doing right this very second? Well, I'm in physical therapy. You suck, was your response. I love that.
It was awesome. All right, so what I thought we'd do, let's do rapid fire.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
I like that.
Let's do rapid fire, back and forth, ping pong, back and forth. I'll go first to give you time to think it up because I'm literally.
I have no idea what you're doing.
I just threw this at you.
Right.
But in AA, in sobriety, on the sober path, you hear so many phrases. Right? So many phrases. What I like to do is just rapid fire 3 each.
Okay.
All right? And just, either one of your best ones that you have heard and live by and use, or one of the worst ones that you think's full of shit.
Okay, good. I got that.
Okay.
Go ahead, shoot one.
All right, so the first one is fake it till you make it.
Okay, fake it till you make it. Here's the snap on that one, right? It's a program of honesty, right? However, right, so faking it until you making it doesn't work. But it does work because I'm a product of faking it to make it. Sometimes you gotta go through the motions. Let's put it that way. I like that better than fake it till you make it. Right? Go through the motions until the situation catches up with you.
I love that. So the minute you use the word fake it till you make it, fake it is not real, and AA is about being real.
That's right. Exactly.
So I would probably say I faked it my entire life.
Right.
I was the chameleon. Any room I went in, I would adjust myself to that room, what I felt you needed me to be in that period of time. And I wasn't real.
Right.
And I think AA and sobriety is about being real. And we recently did an episode, hey, my tank's empty. Now I could have walked in that door and said, hey, super bumby, fantastic, yeah, Mike, let's fist bump, man, let's go. Let's go.
Right.
That's fake it to make it. Where's the value and benefit in that, right?
Right.
So I think maybe a better term, right, to more to what you outlined, do it in spite of, right?
Do it in spite of.
So maybe that is act as if, right? So act meaning outline a good, sober life, the activities of what that looks like, right? And then just do it regardless of how you feel.
Okay, awesome.
Just do it. But I think one of the most important corner blocks in sobriety is being real.
Okay,
Love it. And when you have diarrhea, tell people you got diarrhea, or at least your sponsor.
Right, exactly. All right. Don't drink and go to meetings. Can I just say that? Where's the period in that? Because it's crucial as to is that one statement or two statements, right? Because if it's don't, period, drink and go to meetings, period, that's a problem. But if it's don't drink, period, go to meetings, that's a solution. What's your thought on don't drink and go to meetings? It almost sounds to me like okay, buddy, this is as simple as the program is. Don't drink and go to meetings. Duh. You know, and it really, what is your thought about don't drink and go to meetings?
So I understand it, and it's probably the answer, but it's stupid. So don't drink, period. Go to meetings, period. The miracle happens when you go to the meetings. But that phrase makes it so simplistic. When people say that to me early on, I'm like, you think I'm an
Talk
idiot?
to me like an idiot.
Yeah,
right, exactly. We're on the same page.
I'm an idiot.
Yep.
But in the end, that is the answer.
Yep.
It's almost like when my mom would say, "Oh, Glenn, just pray about it." I get the same gut response. I'm like, "Mom, you're an idiot, man."
Right. I've had PhDs.
Mom, I got PhDs. I'm working on
sure.
PhDs, Mom. I'm on medicine, Mom. Come on.
Okay, hit me with one.
Okay. Give it up to God.
Yes, I'm a big believer. Great phrase. Give it up to God, but there's so much more, and the so much more is filled in with, and do something about it. I think that's the pivot right there. There's more to that statement, and it's just cut off. You can't just give it up to God. You have to do something about it. You have to move. You have to take an action.
So it reminds me, if I ever shared my my college buddy story on this program about did I?
Yes, I love it. So repeat it again because it's classic.
Yeah. So I have a buddy in college. We're in the same class, and I'm old. This is many years ago, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. And we had a major test coming up, and it was really hard. And I said, "Dude, what are you doing, man? What's your studying strategy?" And he goes, "I'm praying about it." I'm like, yeah, but where's your study guide? Where's this? Where's that? Where's your charts? Where's your agenda? Where's your scheduling? I was like, nah, man, I'm not doing any of that. He goes, I'm just praying about it. So the guy gets a D, and I got my proverbial B. I always got B's. I was a B student in college. I just didn't apply myself. But he got a D, and he's like, oh my God. I said, well, what do you think about that? And he goes, I don't know, man. God's just trying to test me. I'm like, what?
Right.
Like that just didn't click for me. And I'm like, wait a minute. So the whole people that give it up to God, right. I think you got to give it up to God, but you have to do the action.
Right.
I think you do the prayers for the test, and then you do your study schedule.
Right. Okay.
But there's somebody there, Ryan, he's been a guest on our show. I love with him. He goes, fuck that, give it up to God shit. Uh-huh. He goes, and honestly, I was with him for many, many years until I understand what that means today. And I've seen the value and benefit from doing that. Just like my old dear mom, Ethel. I understand, just pray about it. And honestly, that's really the answer. But there's so much around the rosy to get you there. All right.
Okay, do the next right thing. We say that often around here.
I think that is a core cinder block in my program.
How do you know what the right thing is?
You go to enough meetings, you go to your sponsor, you get outside input. Just like, when I got shit coming up, I call you. You know what's going on in my life. Right. And I'm like, hey, man, when I need guidance on doing the next right thing, hey, should I take this on? Right? Should I add this onto the load? Right? But that's where if you go to meetings, and you really work the program and you read the book and you work the steps, you learn what the next right thing is. But you know what the best thing? Just hit me. I think you start with what's the next wrong thing.
That's right.
And just don't do that.
Well, that goes to improving step 11, improving your conscious contact with God as you understand. God doesn't speak to me audibly. I don't know what God wants me to do, but you know what? I know what God doesn't want me to do. Same theory applies. I know what the next wrong thing is. The next wrong thing, obvious one, is to take a drink. Secondly, is to self-serve myself. Thirdly, right, etc. It just goes down.
It's amazing. No, it's amazing. So, no, I actually love that. But I think for the people that are early on or curious, don't do the next wrong thing. Right. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't drink. Right. Be accountable. The right things are be accountable. right? Do what you say you're going to do. It's kind of basic. Hey, honey, I'm going to do the dishes today. Do the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Did I tell you this? My daughter called. This is a couple months ago. I forget. She called me up or texted me. She goes, "Man, do you realize you haven't missed anything in the last 11 years?"
Isn't that great? Yeah.
I'm like,
I've been with you. You won't even let that phone call
no.
go to voicemail with her when it comes to your daughters.
But
it's unbelievable.
Here's what's crazy about it. I went several years begging, wishing, hoping that phone would ring.
Yeah.
And there's times now, like I'm at work or something, and I'll get FaceTime at work, and they'll just go on about something ridiculous. And I'm like, oh, man, I got to hang up. I got to get – and I'm like, I prayed for this.
Yeah, right.
And now I'm too busy.
Yeah, right.
It's how bullshit is that?
All right, go to the next one.
Okay. I'm going back to one of my favorites.
Okay.
In fact, I actually shared this at my my recent New York City AA meeting. It's that stop sign I saw on Facebook. You know, and if it's on Facebook, it's true. It said, your thoughts and feelings are valid. Act on them.
Oh, boy. Okay. If it were up to my feelings, I feel like having a drink today. Can I just be honest?
Do you really?
I do. Sure.
Do you really?
I fantasize. I know because there are too many moments in my life where I go, "Oh, would I like that first 30 seconds?" I feel like I would like those first 30 seconds. I know what'll happen after that 30 seconds. No, after the burn, that there's just as soon as that alcohol hits your system,
Euphoria.
right? And that's what I chase then for the next decade after I take the first sip, and I don't want that again.
So can I tell you how lucky I am?
Yeah.
The last time I drank, I had a red Solo cup full of ice, full of vodka, and a splash of cranberry juice. And I was in a hotel room by myself. That was my gig, and I drank that, and I was waiting for that burn. I was waiting for that euphoria.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
What?
Immediately puked.
Yeah.
Immediately puked. My body was, and so when I played the tape. Right, that's one of my tools. I play the tape, and the minute that my head goes, oh, I want to feel that burn.
Right.
I want to feel that euphoria.
You realized it didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you idiot! Remember how fast that puke came up?
Was that your serious last drink 11 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So mine, since we're going there, was sometime between October 13, 2018 and October 18, 2018. I started sober in the hospital because, by the way, they don't have an open bar in the hospital. So there was no alcohol available. Come on, that was funny right there.
No, it was.
And
no, I was actually thinking about the time I had alcohol in the hospital.
So you're both impressive and scary at the same time.
Oh, I'm scary.
So anyway, it was sometime between those two periods, and I don't even remember it because what I remember is the morning of October 13, 2018, when I said I need help, and I was done. But my wife, in her wisdom, until she could get me into a detox, until she could get me medically okay to come off of my decades of drunkenness, she allowed me to continue to drink on my same style I drank. I don't recall it, but I did. So I don't even recall my last drinks. But and it turned out well because I was in intensive care once and had landed up in detox. So, but I don't even remember my last drink. That's how bad that is.
Yeah, that's common.
Yeah,
it's common. I do remember mine because I didn't let it get all blown out. You know, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it just didn't do it for you. That last time when you were really counting on it, it didn't do it for you. That's interesting.
It finally screwed me.
Okay,
for the final time. All right.
Okay, classic. One day at a time. Talk it through.
I think it's a cornerstone.
Yeah.
I think you don't worry about yesterday. It's like our friend Don. Tap tap Don.
Tap tap.
Yeah, if you got a leg in yesterday, you got a leg in tomorrow. You're pissing on today,
right.
and I think that is so true, and you know, it's not like I don't think about the future, right? Mm-hmm. But I put it in perspective. You know, I have a deadline 28 days from now, right? Do I think about that? absolutely, that's a key deadline. I got to hit it, right? But I break it down and say, okay, what am I going to do today to impact that, right? And I have, first of all, the past. This AA program has really helped me deal with the past. I've unloaded a lot of the emotional bullshit. The steps 8 and 9 are amazing. Through steps 8 and 9, through my higher power, through God forgiving me, I eventually forgave myself, which was big. You know, so I don't carry the pain and the weight of the past. I carry the value of the lesson from the past and into today. And today is, you know, it's how I'm going to feel tomorrow. A lot of it's what I do today. Right, so am I doing today to have a better tomorrow? If I drank today, I have a disastrous tomorrow. You know, if I do podcasts today, if I sit down and have a date with my wife today, you know, if I get the 4 projects of work I have to get done, if I get them today,
it's going to make tomorrow better.
Yeah,
or at least you got a better shot.
You know, and I'll make sure I'm going to connect with some people today, right? I'm going to do some projects around the house today, and so I think the more you line up, you act your way to better tomorrows.
Right. Well, I think it doesn't deliver
But
enough.
in business,
yes,
they don't want to hear about today. They want to hear the 3 to 5 year business plan.
That's right. That's
they
right.
want to hear about the hockey stick.
So I think sometimes it doesn't deliver enough. I think sometimes it's got to be 1 hour at a time. And some people have said sometimes it's 1 minute at a time when you're early on and you're really struggling. And sometimes I need to do that. I need to totally back up and not project out to what it could happen, because 99% of the time it doesn't happen, right? And to your point, we back into the last phrase, which was just do the next right thing. But sometimes I need to, today is too much of a gap for me because I've got things that could fall apart by the end of the day. And so I need to back up and just do 1 hour at a time. Michael, what's the next right thing to do in this hour? And again, to our point, I know what the next wrong things to do, but what are the next right things to do for me in the next hour?
I think the secret to a quality sobriety life is living in the moment, living for today.
There you go. You're right in the moment.
You know,
right.
And it's what you're doing now. The next conversation, are you providing value? Are you being real? Are you being honest? You know, the next, conversations inside your head. You know, are you swiping away the crappy thoughts? Are you embracing the good thoughts? Right? What are you doing inside? Right? And then what are you doing outside? And I think, and one of the things I've always shared with you is I should never use the word never. I rarely feel good in the moment. I never feel fulfilled, or I never feel like I got
that's human, right?
In the moment. But if I do the right things, it will eventually feel good.
Right.
Because I reflect back. It's like our Monday night meetings. 100% of the time, I don't feel like going.
I know, right?
100% of the time at 8:50, best thing I ever did today.
But you know what? Decisions are made. Okay, so let's just unpack that for a second. So I feel the same way about our Monday night group. I love it. It's a group of 10, 12 guys, right, that get together on a Monday night, and we talk about all things spirituality, and we're just trying to sharpen our irons, right? And I usually don't feel like going because Mondays are a big work day for me. They start early, and our group meets late, and I know I'm exhausted and right, but I go. And I always, not 20% of the time, not 40% of the time, not 80% of the time, but 100% of the time, I'm very, very glad that I went. I feel uplifted, energized. I'm not even tired when I pull out of that parking lot. But knowing that, I still battle with it. And so when you ask for somebody to step up and lead, right, I said, I'll do it. Part of the reason I did it is because it's a guardrail for me.
You got to show up to lead.
That I got to show up to lead. It goes back to AA. I mean, early on in my sobriety, there was a guy in the room who needed a ride. He needed a ride in and out of meetings. And so I raised my hand. I said, I certainly can take you to a meeting or two. And so I drove him the first day, and I was dropping him off. I said, what's the next meeting you go to? He says, tomorrow morning again at 7 a.m. And I said, okay. So the next morning I show up, and we go to the meeting, and I drop him off, and I say, what's the next meeting you go to? He says, hey, I go to every 7 a.m. So for 6 months, I had to pick him up every single day at 7 a.m. Best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because I was in a meeting for 6 weeks in a row. I wouldn't have been had it not been for that commitment. So anyway, that goes back to that.
That's great, man.
Okay, fire one at me, and we're almost done.
No, I think I'm empty.
You empty? Okay, I got one more.
All right.
Living on the beam. We got to kind of break that out because and the beam is a. I didn't quite get it, but there's a poster in the.
Yeah, I think you should explain it.
Yeah,
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, there's a poster in the AA meetings, and it's called the beam.
We'll put up in the resource room.
Right. Yeah, that's a great idea. We will do that. And it shows the balance.
But if you don't want to go to the resource room, Google AA the beam.
Yeah.
And it'll show up.
Okay. So the idea of the beam represents living in alignment of spiritual principles such as honesty, humility. Hold on as the page resets. Let me see if I can get the one on the beam. Humility and service. When individuals drift away from those principles, they find themselves restless, irritable, and discontent. So let's just look at the two things on either side of the beam. As you're standing on the beam, am I going to fall into honesty, humility, and service? Or am I going to fall into restlessness, irritability, and discontent? Right? And I find myself more now than I did early on in my sobriety trying to pay attention to which side I'm leaning towards, right? Am I again restless inside?
Well, that's awareness, right?
Right.
I mean, I think the beam is a good barometer for awareness.
Yeah, and if I'm not, then all these other triggers don't work. All these other trigger sayings don't work. I mean, give up to God. If I'm unbalanced, if I'm restless, I haven't given it up to God.
Right.
I haven't taken it one moment at a time.
You don't have faith in
I
God at
haven't
that
done.
point.
I'm not doing the next right thing. Everything is wrong if I'm not on that balanced. If I'm not balanced on that beam, and so yeah. Hey, I think it's been good. What's
Great, man.
your big takeaway though?
I am putting.
You're writing on your hand right now.
I'm writing on my hand.
Are you restless? So he's got an R-I-D, restless.
I'm going to take a picture of that. That's awesome.
That is funny right there. Restless, irritable, and discontent. And if we're feeling that way, that means something's off kilter. Something's off kilter. And Glenn, I don't want to be off kilter.
Nah, man.
I like kilter. Whatever a kilter is, I like a kilter. I want to be kilter.
You know, is there a part of you that embraced or got fed off the chaos?
Oh, totally.
Of
When I was
alcoholism?
out there, I loved it. And I would tout my ADD. Oh, I'm sorry I'm 20 minutes late, not respecting your time. But I got, I'm busy. I was so self-important. Everything was chaos. Yes, it was exhausting, Glenn.
I think to me, and a doctor said this to me one time, or nurse, and it was probably the most intuitive thing I've ever heard somebody say to me. Because I was in over 80 of these hospitalizations. Mm-hmm. And I remember her saying to me, she goes, have you ever thought that you like the chaos of relapse and detox? And she goes, you seem like you enjoy getting cared for.
I was going to say, did you like the attention? Right.
Yep. And she's like, I don't know. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Do you relapse because you know you got 5 days of people caring about you?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I started crying. I'm like, oh my God. I think there was something there.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
And I'll close with this. For the next 7 days, I care for you. Just keep that in mind.
Just 7?
I don't know what next week's going to deliver. Goodbye.
Hey, I thought we were living for today.
All right. Goodbye.
See you. Love you, brother.
Love you, bro.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@sober.coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.